I'm telling you that whenever Jesus shows up at a revival, things happen. So they came expecting not only to hear, but expecting a miracle. And Jesus did not disappoint. He teaches, he meets them ministry, mentally. He touches their mind and changes their focus and changes the way that they see the world. Spiritually, he touches their heart where they can now see God for themselves. And after he has done this, his disciples look around and they see the number of people there. And they say to themselves, us ain't got enough money to feed all these people. Man, there are thousands of people out here, and our budget just will not handle this. So they become very practical. Sister Williams, what they say is, we ain't got the money to feed them. So the best thing we can do is send them home. Best thing we can do is tell them, y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to go somewhere else and find yourself something to eat because we ain't got it. Jesus has done all that he can do for you. He has touched you mentally. He's touched you spiritually. Some miracles have been performed out here. But if you're hungry, you got to go feed yourself. Jesus says, no, that ain't ministry. We're not sending these people home hungry. That's not what we're doing. They've been out here with us all day, and we're not about to. That's a need that has to be satisfied. So he says, give me them 2 fish you got, and them 5 biscuits. They ain't nothing but biscuits. I know we call them loaves, but they ain't nothing but a little biscuit. And he fed over 5,000 people with 2 fish and 5 biscuits because he was meeting every need. And then what do we see? Once he does that, he sends his disciples on ahead of him. He says, now, the same thing we've done here, we're going to duplicate that on the other side. So y'all go on ahead of me and set everything up. And while they're traveling on the sea to the other side, Christ goes up into some solitude by himself and spends time with God. Ministry without prayer is not ministry. Christian ministry has to be tied to prayer. There's got to be time spent with God to find out what God would have us to do before we can do anything on our own. Amen. Like Jesus goes off by himself and he prays, and as he spends time with God, his disciples are on their way to the other side. And as they are on their way, we recognize that a storm comes up from out of nowhere. All of this was normal. All this, everything that Christ does is all normal. Everything, even the storm was normal. It was quite normal for a storm to just appear while you're out at sea. All that's normal. But the problem with this storm was, as some of us who have weathered some storms, it ain't so much the storm all the time, but it's when the storm hits. See, if I have a problem when the storm comes through and it takes off a few shingles from my house and I got money, then I'm all right. But if the storm takes off my shingles and I don't have insurance or money, then I got a problem. That storm hit at the wrong time. It's not the storm, but it's when it hits. And this storm comes up when they're out at sea, and we recognize, Scripture tells us that they were too far out to turn around and go back. Couldn't make, all we got to do is get to shore. Look, we've dealt with storms before. This is a strong storm. We're not going to weather this storm. So the best thing for us to do is make our way to dry land. But we're so far out that if we try and go back, we're not going to make it back. but we're not close enough to our destination to make it there either. So we are in a mess. Not only did this storm come about, not only is this storm severe, but the storm caught us at the wrong time in the wrong place. That's their dilemma. Couldn't move forward, couldn't go backwards. We've all been there. And if you hadn't been there, like the old folks used to say, just keep getting up in the morning. A few more risings and settings of the sun, and you'll recognize what I'm talking about. This storm hits them at the worst time. Everything else is normal, but when the storm of life begins to rage, we have a God who will not leave us in that storm by ourselves. And Jesus, from his time spending with God, look, I'm not, just using my own spiritual imagination. I was not there, but I'm just assuming that as Jesus was talking to God and God was talking to Jesus, God said, son, your disciples are in trouble. They're in the middle of a storm. And they're not going to make it out unless you go see about them. And Jesus comes walking on the water. Can I tell you that the same Christ that showed up then shows up now? The same Christ that was spending time with the Father then, and the Father said, go see about your people. I just believe that it's that same relationship now where God says to Jesus, you got to go by and see about your people. He sends his Holy Spirit to take care of us because God has promised never to leave us and never to forsake us. Even in the middle of the storm, he shows up in the moment that we need him most so that we can survive and overcome those difficult moments in our lives. I don't know how many of you know it or not, but the only reason we're here today is because Jesus showed up in our storms. The only reason we're here, it's not us. It's not, it's not our good looks. It's not the color of our skin. It's not our education. It's not our physical connections down here. But it was because God showed up in time, on time, and took care of us. But here's the thing. They did not recognize that it was Jesus. And fear grabbed a hold of them. And it didn't grab one of them. Fear grabbed a hold of all of them. Now, it's one thing to be in a boat and one person gets scared. But it's something else to be in a room and everybody gets scared. Now, it's one thing. It's 10 of us in here and one of us scared. The other 9 trying to wonder. I don't understand what he's scared of. This is nothing. This is nothing. We got this. Now, when it gets to about half and half, then you start having some issues because now we got to figure out, are we going to jump over here with the scared folk or are we going to try to get them over here with us, the brave folk? But here's a situation where everybody in the boat was scared. And you got a problem when you can't rely on one person to give you some strength, one person to, talk some sense, one person to say, no, we can do it if we just trust in God. Everybody in the boat was scared. Everybody in the boat was frightened. Everybody in the boat, look, their heart is messed up. Fear has gripped their minds and their hearts, so they're all paralyzed. Because they all thought they saw a ghost. And I don't care how holy y'all are. I'm just going to say it for me. I don't care how holy you are. I don't care how holy if we're in a room together, I'm going to just tell you, and a ghost walks in, and we all see the ghost together, I'm gonna tell y'all now, I'm gone. Ain't no sense in y'all. I'm just not. Whatever. I'm gonna talk about God on the outside. Me and God gonna have our conversation outside. That ghost scares them. So ain't no sense in laughing at them. That ain't, you can act as holy as you want to act. Let a ghost walk in here right now. But look at Peter. Peter was able to look beyond that moment and the circumstances and see and hear Jesus for himself. I hope you heard me. There are moments in our lives where we're being beat down and beat up and put upon, and our hearts are heavy, we're scared, we can't see, we can't understand, and it is in those moments that we got to look past all the mess that we're dealing with and see and hear Jesus for ourselves. Nobody else could see him because everybody else was caught up in the storm. Everybody else was caught up in trying to survive, how to get out of this. But Peter saw Jesus for himself, and what he saw and who he saw allowed him to do what nobody else in the boat was able to do. Some of y'all gonna hear me. Somebody's gonna hear me. There are times in our lives, it does not matter how long you've been saved, your relationship with God, how strong your prayer life is, how great a praiser you are. There are times in all of our lives when pain will knock us down. There are times in all of our lives where move them and fear will grab your feet and they'll come together and tell you, you better not move, as they hold you down. And if you can't see Jesus for yourself in that moment, if you can't hear from God from yourself in that moment, you will remain in that position powerless because you got more caught up in what was going on than in who you know. You got more caught up in the pain that you were dealing with instead of seeing the one who could deliver you from all of that pain, who could deliver you from all of your struggle, who could give you the power to say to what's holding you down, you got to let me go because God is on my side and God is lifting me above whatever it is that's trying to hold me down. God will give you the power to tell pain, I'm getting up. I've been down here long enough. God will give you the power to tell doubt, no, my faith is stronger. God will give you the power to do what you cannot do yourself if you would just hear and see God for yourself. God's will be done. And that's the point where Peter finds himself. He does not deny the existence of the storm. He doesn't deny the power of the storm. He does not deny that the situation he's in ain't good. He fully realized that the storm is dangerous and this might not work out in his favor. Peter doesn't deny any of that. And he does not say, God, take me out of this storm. He doesn't say, God, make the storm stop. But Peter says, let me come to where you are. Y'all hear him? Peter saying, the storm really doesn't matter. I'm not going to wait till the storm is over. but I'm going to go to God right now. Y'all hear Peter? Peter's not asking God to change his situation. He's saying, just give me the power to walk through this situation with you on my side. Just give God, look, let the storms of life keep raging. Ain't nothing I can do about that. But what I can do is to walk in the middle of the storm with God in front of me, knowing that as long as I'm going to where he is, nothing can stop me. Notice, Peter says, I don't only want to walk on water, which is miracle enough, but I won't do it right now in the middle of a storm. He doesn't say, well, Jesus, teach me later on how to do this, but right now, right? I just need you to deliver me right now. I just need you to get me out of this right now. That's not what he does. He says, I want to do what I see you doing right now. Don't do it without me, is what he says to Jesus in this very moment. We are in the middle of a storm. We are Redwood. Some of us have personal storms going on in our lives. It could be your health, finances. It could be a relationship. It could be some inner turmoil. Somebody's dealing with something right now. Now, you can't tell by looking at them. You can't even tell by talking to them. Because they don't want you to know right now. But they're dealing with something. Something that's going on, and they need to stay focused and keep walking. But it's easier said than done. As a country, we are in a political storm that is manifesting itself in a number of areas in our lives. We have a federal administration that is doing everything within its power to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. An administration that is doing everything within its power to destroy black people in this country. An administration that is sending the National Guard into cities and communities as a fear tactic and not as a means of assistance to those who are in need. An administration that does not want to do its job by feeding the less fortunate Americans. And even when they've been ordered to do so by a judge. A judge says you got to feed them. This administration says, no, we're going to ask for the emergency order from the Supreme Court because we don't want to feed these people. We don't want to use the money that's been set aside to feed these people, but we're going to send $20 billion to Argentina. That's the mindset of this administration. We are in a storm. And we, like Peter, are in a boat on sea at 4 in the morning. And we've got to see Jesus for ourselves. We've got to look beyond what's taking place and hear what God is saying to us and what God would have us to do in this storm. We don't have time to wait for 3 years until this storm is over, even if it's going to be over then. We're responsible for doing the will of God in the middle of the storm. The storm is intent on causing us to lose focus. I don't know if you've ever driven in a storm. Our cars are equipped with windshield wipers. And sometimes there's just a little rain, and you can turn them things on intermediate and at different levels, and sometimes you need it to go a little quicker. Sometimes there's seconds 10, 15 seconds in between the move of the wipers. There are other times where you got to turn it up a little high so that the wiper will move and will get just enough water out of the way so you can see and you can keep going. But then there are times where that storm is so severe that I don't care how high you put those windshield wipers, your vision is blurry because of the rain and the way it hits the windshield. And I've only had this one time in my life, but one time it was so bad. I was on the interstate, and I used to, look at people and wonder why they were stopping under an overpass, and why they would sit there, and I would drive by them shaking my head saying, oh, you just can't drive. You can't drive. And I would keep going. But can I tell you that my day came where one day that rain was so bad, I was looking for an overpass. I'm, Lord, please send an overpass. And as soon as I saw the overpass, I pulled off and sat there and said, I ain't going nowhere until this rain stops, because I can't see in this stuff. I can't make my way in this storm. And if I keep trying to drive in this weather, I'm going to crash. I'm going to mess around and hurt myself. I may even hurt or kill somebody else. Some of y'all don't hear me in here. But here is the practical thing to do, is to stop, is to sit there and wait for the storm to pass over. Now, here it is, Redwood. God ain't calling us to be practical. What God is saying is, I need you to do what's miraculous in the middle of the storm. I need you to get out of the boat and follow me in the middle of the storm. I need you to say, I ain't got time to be practical. There's too much work to do. God's will doesn't allow me to sit down, but his will tells me to get up and do the will of God. Have I got somebody in this crowd that recognizes if I'm going to do God's will, I've got to stay focused. I can't worry about what's going on around me. I can't worry about who's coming with me. I can't worry about how this is going to turn out. All I've got to do is trust in the God that I serve. All I can do is get out of the boat and trust that God will make a way somehow. Have I got somebody in this crowd who recognizes when I trust God, God uses me to do a miraculous work. I just stopped by and stood up long enough this morning to tell you, Redwood, that there are some miracle workers in this sanctuary. There are some water walkers on your pew. There are some people who can do miraculous work. As a matter of fact, all of us, as we do the will of God, will do what can't be done in our own power. Have I got somebody in this crowd who recognizes I can't do it by myself, but Lord, if you command me to come, I'm going to step out on faith and do your will. Have I got somebody in this crowd who can say, Lord, whatever you're doing in this season, don't do it without me. Just don't do it without me. Whoever you're healing in this season, Lord, don't heal them without me. Don't heal them without me. Lord, whoever you're blessing in this season, is there anybody in this crowd who wants to be a blessing to somebody else? Well, you got to tell the Lord, don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Peter looked beyond all the circumstances. He didn't deny that the storm was still going on. But he saw and heard Jesus for himself. And he said, whatever you doing, that's what I want to do. And he got out of that boat, leaving everybody else behind, and say, I'm going to Jesus if I have to go to him all by myself. Everybody else's vision on that boat had become blurry. They couldn't hear Christ. They couldn't see Christ. They still thought it was a ghost. But Peter said, that's Jesus. And wherever he is, that's where I want to be. Whatever he's doing, that's what I want to do. And Peter walked on the water. Not because it was some lifelong goal of his, but it's because Jesus did it. So he wanted to do it as well.